This is the beauty of doing things live. Welcome, everybody. I am so thrilled to be here today. As you can see, I am accompanied today by powerful women, women that are bold, women that are real, women that feel vulnerable, women that really exist in today's world to help us realize that we're so much more than what people say we are. We truly believe here in G100 Global Networking, and we take pride in championing diversity, making sure that every woman feels strong, feels smart, and feels real. And that is what we value here. Female empowerment and the fight against physical stereotypes has existed forever. But today, more than ever, it is prevalent. Prevalent for our children to see, prevalent for our young teenagers to see, for our young adults, but most importantly, for real women, women that go out there every day to work, women that every day raise their children, women that at some point or another think that what they're doing is probably not as important because they're not beauty's norm of the day. Here at G100 Global Networking, we believe that these conversations will help us unleash the power from within and every single one of us to break down those physical stereotypes. I think we've all had it at some point or another. An aunt, a cousin, an aunt, a mother will tell us with much love, stop eating or you'll get fat. Somebody will tell us out of love, you know that boys or girls don't like you like this, or this is not the typical, or if you lost 10 pounds, you would get a husband, you would get a girlfriend. The truth is
that
that we need to start
boy,
down
this
these
is
stereotypes.
you would
So today with me, I am accompanied by incredible women, women that believe that the power of us is so strong that we can break down those barriers. Since 2021 in January, we've been having this conversation. It's an important one to have. You know why? 70% of women still think that they're not enough just by the way they look. But most importantly, 70% of women are sent home from work, from school, and special events just because of what they're wearing or the way they look. That stops today, and that stops with us. I today am accompanied by fabulous women that I call my G100 sisters, and I want to welcome each one of you today. I'm going to start with Paula Cristina Dionisio Delgado. She's a happiness and fulfillment coach. She's a mentor and a speaker. Welcome, Paula. Hola, Paula. I also have with us today Tanya Maddox. She's the owner of In Focus Coaching Services. She's a life coach, a speaker, and an author. Welcome, Tanya.
welcome, Virginia.
So happy to have you here with us today. I'm going to leave Shirley for the end because she's going to start with us today. And I want to introduce to you Madhavi Ganapati. And I hope I have the name correctly. But, I am from Puerto Rico, so I may have a little, a different accent for that. But she's selected as one of the change makers in India for She Creates Change of Change.org. She was part of a live campaign with the crime against women and girls, and she provides counseling to more than 500 referrals for women and children. Welcome to you all. And now I want to introduce to you my dear global networking sister. She is the national chair for Hong Kong. She is Shirley Wing Chow. Thank you, Shirley, for being here. She's a confidence voice coach. She's a Canfield success principal and social emotional intelligence trainer. And she speaks on resilience. And I think that is super important. Additional, she is an Amazon bestseller on her book. So welcome, Shirley.
Hello, everyone. Hope you're all doing great. I'm happy to be here. Very honored.
Shirley, I would like to start with you today, our conversation. Like, I want everybody to know this is an open conversation. We would love to know your comments. I know that we have Matt in the controls, and if there's anything that you want to ask any of our panel leaders, you can definitely let us know. But this is a great conversation, a conversation that has to be had. Shirley, I know that you live in Asia, and I also know, just like in my Latin American countries, the social norm is so severe for women. We have to look so particularly perfect that many times we feel that we're zeros when we don't look a certain way. I would like to know how you help the people that you impact through your resilience and your confidence voice coach and all your coaching. How do you help these people see themselves as they truly are, realizing that the power is personal and behind really all these stereotypes and how we can really destroy them is really with human connections. How do you do that?
Well, such great questions, Virginia. The way that I do it is really starting from the very simple notion that are we happy, truly happy from within? If we look at ourselves from other people's perspectives, from society's perspectives, from the cultural boxes that were being put on top of us almost at the time of birth, right? Like you were saying, I'm born Asian, and so it doesn't really matter where I grow up or work in the world after my childhood is finished. I was always being brainwashed into thinking, and a lot of my students do too, that only slender looking, big eyed, and docile and well dressed women, well groomed women are worth the favoritism or self love or a bargain in promotion or whatever it is, right? But if we do not start with our own conviction to our own joy, then we become victims to all these limiting thoughts or demeaning or debasing ideas about who we should be, how we should look, how we should dress, and all that. So when I deal with teenager, for example, right now I'm coaching one 12-year-old, and almost one or five sentences you would hear her say, "I don't think I can do it," or "I hate looking in the mirror." Now I coach her on singing and also on sometimes presentations. And a lot of times she has to look in the mirror, and she also has to address the way that she chooses what she wears. And I would tell her that if you do not think about the contents of your speech or how you feel good about the progress you make, and also about who you really are as a person, like all your values or your character traits, all the virtues that you have developed, and also the kindness or the silly, joyful exuberance that you have, then no matter what kind of clothing you wear, it really doesn't matter because even in social media, which this generation is absolutely addicted to, or we are all addicted to certain degrees, we know that very attractive people can be very unhappy, or they can be very negative, or they can be very vindictive, and that energy exudes outwards, right? And we can feel it. Anybody can feel that, and immediately we want to kind of shut them off, or we don't feel like we can trust them. So in my coaching, usually I would tell my students or my friends that it is really how you feel at the moment. If you can feel the kindness and you can feel the beauty of your thoughts, then slowly melt away all these noises from around you that are telling you that you're not good enough, you're not pretty enough, your eyes are not big enough. Or in Asia, actually, if you can fathom the fact that they try to do these procedures to make their faces look more V-shaped, which to me is just totally bogus, right? What if it is not the shape of your face that matter more than the kind of love that you can give? right? So usually I would start with the pure fact that are you happy with this noise in your head? If it isn't, just change it because the power is within you. It's not in someone else's idea of you.
Thank you so much, Shirley. And I totally agree with you. I think that we need to change. We need to change that that's playing in our mind. How do you tell? And I'm glad that you're bringing up talking to younger people, especially at this age that they're so malleable, but at the same time so impressionable. How do you tell them, or what tips do you give them to start changing that narrative that's playing in their head the whole time that they get from the outside? How can they tune in better into the inside?
First of all, I would tell them to think about the way they were born. As babies, they were pretty, they were beautiful, they were precious, they were just a gift from, the above or from heaven or whatever you call it, in their parents' eyes. So that should not have changed unless their virtue, their character has gone totally off the wrong side, right? If the nature is good and they are full of joy and love, that energy itself is always going to be infectious, and that is always going to get you the friends that you want, the people who are good to you. And so that is always the starting point. And when they go astray, that's always the place that I want them to go back to. That you were born perfect, you were born beautiful as you are. And before anybody can believe that, you have to learn to believe that.
Right. Absolutely. Thank you so much, Shirley. I want everybody to know that Shirley, it's like 1 o'clock in the morning or 1:30 in the morning for Shirley. So Shirley, we really appreciate you being here. And I know that if you have to leave because you have a next day tomorrow morning, we're so grateful and so thankful to you for being here and for really giving us these words. I think that definitely youth, and I know that you work with them a lot. You're a great inspiration and an example to find that joy within, especially at a young age. I think we don't speak enough about being happy when we're that young because we're so concerned that our kids are going to turn out okay, that we're worried about math and we're worried about sports and we're worried about having perfect kids fitting in the perfect school so they can go to the perfect university. We sometimes forget to really talk to them about that joy. And I agree with you. That joy is probably what's going to help us with our self esteem. And it's also going to bring out the love that we should be having for each one of us. So thank you so much, Shirley.
You're
Tanya, I
welcome.
wanted to go to you from this point on, and thank you, Shirley. Um, we were talking about young people, and now when you were working with your life coach, clients, it's okay. We can talk to kids, and I think that kids will listen to us. But then when we have to talk to grown-ups, adults, people that have been thrown down a few times and maybe have lost that joy, how can we bring that love back? How can we really rediscover that what really matters and what really shows is what's within, and that will come out? So, how do you deal with that with your life coaching clients?
Thank you, Virginia. Well, with the people I coach, the women, the wonderful women, especially when they begin to mature and the body is no longer the same shape or style that it was in the teen years, the self esteem does take a bit of a dip. And it's important to let them know that we do change. We are here to change. There are different
Right.
hormonal things that happen, and it is not the end of the world. And what helps to heal and to connect more and to rebuild that self esteem, if you will, is to realize that confidence is the most attractive feature that you could have. I like for them to tap into actually what their thought process is. Why is it that you desire to look a certain way? Why do you think that that's necessary? Are you attempting to attract a certain attention? Is it male attention? Is it female attention? Are you trying to conform or fit in with your peers and look the same way? That gets to a self esteem issue. And I like to delve deeper into that and to find that point of self love. We were all, just as Shirley did mention, we're all born beautiful and perfect. And we have all the components that we were supposed to have to attract to us what's supposed to be in our lives. So, fitting into a stereotype will not attract what they more than likely desire or what they think they desire. It's actually helping them to see that you have everything within you to attract what it is you want. And you are absolutely perfect the way that you are because you have a specific assignment in your life. You have a specific goal, and there are people you are to impact. And the way you look externally is not necessarily part of that mix. What you bring, yes, in your character, in the love that you have for yourself, and the confidence in that is what will attract to you what it is that you need. And that is most healing. And that's what helps them to get over that hurdle of feeling that they're not enough or they should look a certain way. If you look at history, we've gone through a lot of things. You had a long time ago Twiggy, who was maybe a zero or minus zero. Then you had someone else with a body style. Then it was hair in the 70s. Everyone was in the Farrah Fawcett hair. Unfortunately, there was a young lady who was attacked by a schoolmate that cut her hair out of jealousy. So, all these externals are not what we need to concentrate on. Concentrate on your own love and light and on the confidence of knowing what you are capable of and what you can give to the world.
Thank you so much, Tanya. We have an image of, I would say, what is considered probably one of the most beautiful women in the world. And I'm going to ask Marta in the controls if she can share it with us, because this was 40 or 30 years ago, 40 years ago, when women thought that she was the most beautiful. I know that at some point you'll be able to share that with us, Marta, so I'll wait for it. But here we go. So this is the fabulous Marilyn Monroe. She was the icon, the beauty icon. And the truth is that if we look at this image, which everybody thought was beautiful, her tummy is not tightly toned. Her thighs are actually real thighs. Her arms are not skinny, skinny, skinny. She has the stretch marks of a healthy body that is growing, right? Her breasts aren't perky because only flat people or those that are, enhanced at the table with the plastic surgeon will look that way. Nonetheless, we're meant to believe, people want us to believe that that is the right way, but this is a real woman that everybody found beautiful. They found her beautiful, women and men. She was the go-to. So, we need to continue to be confident. And I love this picture, this image, because it really calls out to us. There's a call of action. Be confident, girls, women, in what you have. The most important women, I think, and probably the sex icon that will forever live is Marilyn. And I would say maybe she, because of Hollywood, she looked different, to a lot of the women, or we felt that we were different from her. I would really like to talk to Madavi right now. Talking to Madavi because I know she's worked with so many women and girls, especially girls and women that are at risk, are in vulnerable positions. How do you work with that inner beauty? How do you work with that inner power? And how do you help them unleash that power to go on? Because true beauty to me is a powerful woman. And a powerful woman is not the one that's a politician, that's great, or she's on TV. To me, is a woman that can stand up and say, I'm happy with who I am. And I'm going to use my talents for best. So, how can you help? And I know you've done this a lot.
Yes, yes, all beautiful women, a good evening, and for all the wonderful faces where we are in a global networking group. Am I audible? Am I audible to everybody?
Yes, you
Yes,
are.
thank you. Yes, I would like to answer the question or the topic which was given. Actually, when I discuss with the women, most of the women in India are only facing a sort of violence, keeping them into silence. But they never think beauty is not a criteria, as well as they are not into a different parts of their life. But even then, when I speak to them, I only tell them that everybody and every woman in their life has a beautiful chapter of their family, and also they have to think about their themselves. And the second most thing is that the women in India are into different stereotypes because of the political pressures, or because of the family pressure, or because of the pressures which they carry themselves. So when I counsel them, I only bring them into an emotional thing where a woman mostly come into. A woman is too emotional, sensitive, and very patient. The patience cannot be measured of a woman when compared to a man. And as well as the dressing. So every woman must have her own freedom to dress herself. But unfortunately, most of the women are being pointed out basing on their dress, or basing on their hairstyle, or basing on their look, either black, or they are fair, or they are in other colors. So I only tell them that we should have a confidence, we should build a confidence, and when we come across some sorts of undisturbed things happening in our life or in front of us, don't be as silent. Because I use a hashtag by saying that no silence for violence. Because of due to this hashtag, I mostly come across of the most of the women, and I can share you only a glimpse of that. Recently, when I was talking 2 days back, I was talking to a woman. She was about to get her divorce. So in the meanwhile, the women, she was in her, before the divorce, in her family life with her husband, she was being shooted the her private parts. So this was not known to that particular girl or the woman, and she approached the court and she filed a case against him. So after that, the her husband, when he produced a pen drive which consists of her entire parts, so I opposed that because she was about to commit a suicide when that was seen by the judge, because the judge is a male person. Here the gender is male, so every male has their own attitudes or their own behaviors towards a woman. So she felt ashamed, and that night she was about to commit suicide. But suddenly at 12 o'clock she called me and she started saying that, "Madam, I don't want to live. My husband has done this. My entire bare body was shown to all the lawyers in the court." Then I told her one thing: see, you are a mother. Forget about your parts of your body, but only think that you are you have to come out of that particular instance and you have to fight for with your husband. And again, today morning, I took her, sat with the legal authorities, and spoke to them, and only cleared that this shouldn't be focused. Here it requires a psychosocial support, and as well as a strength which we can give to the other woman. Dear ladies and all the beautiful women, am I
You
sensing
are.
what you are about to hear? So this was happened, means it is only that when, though we are so careful about ourselves, but we have to watch all the sides. They had a private life. The private life was shooted into his camera. When these both were about to get divorce, they were into mutual divorce. So she demanded some amount for her livelihood. To discard that, to abandon her, he has taken out that film and produced to the judge, saying that she has porn videos. But apart from that, it is only for our conscience to think that I only told her you are a woman, and if you are a, if you have given a birth to a baby in the hospital, you have a bare body. So why are you thinking in that way? So I had to counsel her. I sat with her the whole day. Today took her because she was only a single child for her parents. Means
Yes.
these are the things which are happening everywhere. Only the thing, the way we approach, the way we catch hold of the other women, saying that be bold, we are there for you.
I agree.
This is
Thank
what.
you so much for sharing that very, I would say, powerful image. Intimate partner violence is prevalent,
Yes.
and it really chips at our self esteem, as you
Yes.
said before. And it's up to us women to really protect each other,
Yeah.
and
Yes.
many times we don't even know how to do that. And as I was listening to your recount of what's going on, and how you're helping this person, this woman, I want to go out there and reach out and help her too. And I think it's all of our jobs. It's all of us as women realize
Yes.
that we're so much more than our body parts, that we're so much
Yeah.
more than our intimate body parts, that we're an
Yes.
energy, that we're
Yeah.
soul, that we come here with purpose. If we continue to really think of that, I agree with you. We all have something beautiful. Even if our life is negative, there's something beautiful. In her case, she
Yes.
had children, right? So
Yeah.
think about your children in this moment, to
Mm.
lift up, to rise up. But I
Yeah.
think that there's power in women when we get together.
Yeah.
So, for many years, that is why they told us that we were witches. For many years, that's what they told us, that they would burn us, because there's
Yeah.
power in female bonding and sisterhood. And that is what
Yes.
G100 is. Is the
Yeah.
sisterhood, is believing that we have that power. So I'm sending you, you know, thoughtful vibes to you, so you can share it with that wonderful woman, that she is going to get up and she's going to be
Yes.
a beacon for other women. I know that's
Yeah.
going to happen. So I appreciate everything you do for her. And
Thank you
moving
so
from
much.
that powerful testimony that you just gave us, you were talking about she needs to find inside herself that strength. And that has a lot to do with happiness and fulfillment. And we know that many times as women, that's not our priority. Our priority is to take care of everybody. Our priority sometimes is to be a doormat.
Yeah.
We let people walk because we think on top of us, because we think it's what we're supposed to do, to be a good woman. I
Yes.
want you to find that fulfillment and happiness. And I want to talk to now to our coach here, Paula. Paula is a happiness and fulfillment coach. Paula, how do we go about bringing that happiness, finding it? I'm going to say it in Spanish. ¿Cómo conseguimos, Paula, esa felicidad dentro de nosotros para seguir hacia adelante?
Eu penso que a felicidade está. Vou tentar falar um bocadinho em espanhol. Ok. Eu penso. A felicidade está dentro de nós, não pelo nosso corpo, nem pela nossa aparência, mas por aquilo que nós somos, o nosso poder. Não é pela nossa raça, não é pela nossa altura, não é pelo nosso tamanho, se somos magras, mais largas ou não. É a pessoa que nós somos. E nós temos que nos aceitar como somos e não nos compararmos com os outros. Quando nós nos comparamos com os outros, estamos a diminuir. E nós temos o poder, cabe a cada um de nós, a cada mulher, apoiar a outra mulher, criar empatia, respeitar o próximo. E quando nós conseguimos fazer isso, nós criamos um mundo melhor e mais feliz. é muito importante que nós conseguimos assegurar a diversidade, a igualdade e a inclusão. Porque quando nós todos, e cabe-nos a nós todos, assegurarmos isto, nós vamos encontrar a felicidade que todos procuramos.
Sí.
Estás me ouvindo?
Sí, te escucho
¿Estás
bien.
me ouvindo, Virginia?
Te iba a preguntar, I wanted to ask you, Paula, can you speak in English? So, I mean, I'm going to like say a little bit of what you've said already about finding the happiness within you and that we have to stop comparing ourselves
Yes.
to other people and find what's within us. And also when we support other women is having empathy for other women, you know, and also for ourselves. And I think that's very important that you said that, Paula, because sometimes we do have empathy for other people, but we forget to have empathy for ourselves. And we're so difficult and we're so harsh and so severe with our own self that we're not even compassionate with who we are. So, really finding that empathy within you for you is really important for you to continue to start to be happy and start to feel fulfilled. I wanted to know if you could continue in English or in Spanish so I can understand you a little bit better.
Yes, yes. Okay, we continue in English. When you look for a woman, we can more than the appearance, the physical stereotypes. The important is you see what is behind that woman. What is her story, her pain. Don't judge the others for the appearance.
Mm-hmm.
We are on the end of the day when we remove our clothes. We are all the same human beings, right? All on the end of the day when we take the clothes. So we must assure that all the people, the inclusion of the people, and I, as a chief happiness officer, I also one of my goals is to give more opportunities with the people with disabilities. Because I strongly believe that each of one has something special to contribute for this amazing world. For instance, I work with a person with a brilliant professional, but has a minor mental disability, but he's brilliant professional. We must give more opportunities to these people too. When we do this, we create a happier world too. One of the principles one of the driving principles in the happiness is aligning happiness with sustainability. When we give opportunities to these people, we assure that they are happy too. We assure the inclusion of all. So I wanted to say that to be happy and to create a happier world, it's a responsibility for each one to listen, understand, and connect with.
I agree with you 100%. We're losing Paula. I know she's going to come back in a few, but I think that one of the things that we can definitely do as we continue in this quest to break down those physical stereotypes is really to start building human connections. You know, here at Global Networking, we believe in the strength and the power of connecting, of being a bridge. But I think it goes beyond that. When we learn about the other person, when we get to know the other person, when we cultivate that relationship, that other person is no longer skinny or not skinny, is no longer white or dark, is no longer, you know, a green eyed or a brown eyed. No, that person is a person. There's an energy in them, and that is what we relate to. So, definitely, was what Paula was saying is how do we continue to be that bridge? How do we continue to build those human connections? And that definitely is the secret. And that is why our wing in global networking is so powerful, because what we look for is this opportunity to speak, to listen to women from all over the world, talk about what's going on, what's a reality for them. Beauty in my country is probably not the same as beauty and Shirley's or beauty, and Madavi's or beauty, even where Tanya is, which is the United States also. It's different for all of us. But what's really important is human. It's what is inside. That is the same for all of us, is being a good person, is really raising the bar and being good to your neighbor, but most importantly, being good to yourself and understanding. I want to talk to each one of you now. You know that right now there's so much editing and airbrushing for photos. Even our videos can be fixed so we can always look perfect. The truth is that I am one of those. I have to say that sometimes I'll say, before you post a photo, let me see, But the truth is that I think that people that love me and care for me are not going to care if I look chubby, if I have a double chin, if my hair is messy. I think they're really going to care about what comes through, who I am and what I'm doing. For many, many years, we had makeup. We used it, maybe to bring out our features. But with editing and airbrushing, Shirley, I want to start with you. How do you address that issue? Especially because you talk about presence, when they're projecting, when they're going to take their photos. What do we tell these young people about that?
It's funny you mentioned that. Actually, we have our own perception of which angle we look at best and the lighting and everything. I think so, to a certain degree, a healthy dose of vanity or maybe self-regulation in a way to present what we think speaks, more finely of our image or whatever it is. That itself, when it is a healthy dose, that is okay. But the overuse of these filters and really turning yourself into almost like a cartoon figure, like an avatar, that is a very distorted sense of self-hate in a way. So we just need to really get very sensitized or desensitized about how we're distorting our own self-image and asking ourselves, do we really need this? And if in this moment I feel vulnerable and I feel like I need these filters or I need to hold on, right, to the way I look and I want to perfect it, what is really going on deep inside of me? Because when we look at ourselves, we already know that that's not how other people look at us. And do we really want to place all our trust and fulfillment or achievement, sense of achievement, in the hands of people who only want to see us a certain way? So these are the questions we can ask ourselves. And at the end of the day, a lot of times, I'm sure you can relate, right? We think we look terrible in a picture, and then everyone else around us, oh my God, you look amazing. And then when you feel like you look really great, and then people are like, oh, I don't think you look that happy.
Exactly.
So it's all a distortion. At the end of the day, right? If you have achieved to speak highly of yourself, of the others, and you get your purpose across in the line of work you do or whatever it is, the message is across, it's good enough. And you showing up, being there, or whether it's for your friend or for your team, whatever it is, you was a good, dose of support, then you are good enough.
I love that answer and I appreciate it totally. I mean, I am one of those people that I also, I'm like, oh, let me see it before. Oh my God, why don't you put this one instead? But the truth is that we're humans. And like you said before, if you can fix yourself a little bit just to be presentable because the lighting is better, you want to change a filter, but not change completely who you are. And that brings me to something that we've been doing for ages. And I'm going to speak with Madavi now. As okay, maybe it's not editing and maybe it's not airbrushing, but we do that with ourselves and who we are when we present ourselves. And I have to say, in our culture, our family will tell us, don't say this about you or your family, don't say that, and sort of they want us to edit who we really are. Don't eat this or eat this because you look better. So how does society and culture evolve from where we're at right now? Because we've been going through this forever. Now it's in our pictures, but before it was in our life. Our mom would say, don't talk like this, don't cough like that, sit this way, wear this, tighten that, show this, all these things we've been hearing forever. So it's not now, how can we start evolving our society and our culture?
Yes, Virginia. So let me answer to this. Mostly, most of the women who are ambitious and who has a good sense of humor, they only feel that I would like to be in this way, which I can and which I want. And the society and as well as the family members will never accept the way we are, because they have their own ways of discussing or their own ways of looking at us. But only we can project ourselves and we can make somebody to aspire or to at least follow us, because only a woman, a strong woman with a strong ambition and with a strong attire, the attire doesn't mean that mom will say no, 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 you should don't speak, because as per the culture, Indian culture, when we go out, they see the time and say, oh, it is already dawn, the sunset, why the girl has not yet come? The woman has to come early. But an employee who works for 8 hours duty, the traveling time will not be calculated. They only see that they have to come. No, 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 everybody is sitting, please stand and talk. Means these are the one form of rites or the rituals which they say. We call it as revas, that means the formalities. But for every formality and for everything, we have to have a negotiation. Yes, what you say is right, but this is the way to follow, and this is my way of dealing with the people. So the way we project and the way we produce ourselves in front of others gives a different difference among a comparative thing. I myself have a different attire when compared to other women in my family. I only keep a bindi, because why I'm explaining to you is, in Indian culture, everywhere we have our own ways of dressing up. I only keep a bindi, no bangle, small studs, only a chain, full covered sari or a dress, because I don't want to show up. But what happens? They say that no, no, see your hips are there. See your hips are out. See this side is it is open, back it is open. Means we don't have a freedom to stay like this. Don't wear this nightwear and go out. Come, come, come. Change your dress. Means the way the people want is very difficult to be. Once the beauty of a woman lies in her heart, her expression, and the way she projects herself. Only we call it as a showcasing. Like all the dolls, books, and everything, we put it in a showcase. So the way we project, the way the society sees. Society also dictates a woman. But when the woman starts strongly saying that this is right, I want to be like this, nobody will comment. Nobody will say yes or no. Only the thing is that we have to speak out, we have to raise our voice and say, this is right. I will be like this. There is no harm in my behavior, in my attitude. If you have a difficulty, say tata, bye bye, and see you. Means
Love it.
this is one way which I follow all the time.
I love it. Thank you, Malavi. And I think that helps us everywhere. The truth is that you spoke when we started about an ambitious woman. You
Yes.
know, if you have your ambition, you know where you're going, you know where you're heading, that starts to build that self-esteem, and it's
Yeah.
going to give you that strength that you just said, hey, this is who I am.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not offending anybody. This is the person I am. This is how I'm going to project myself. And if you're not okay with it, then bye bye. I take
But
strength. It takes
yeah.
confidence to do
Yeah.
that. But I think we can all arrive to that. And I think, and now speaking from that and going to Tanya, we need to continue to pursue that as women. You know, being ambitious was a bad word before. You know, women in ambition was like, oh, she only cares about money. She's calculative. She's not. But you know what? That has changed. And we need to really know what we're going after and what we want and what are our goals, because that really gives us that power to stand up. With your clients, Tanya, how do you work with them when you're in that goal setting, helping them really focus on where they're going and not paying attention to all the stereotypes and all the what you should do or shouldn't do's out there?
Well, thanks for asking that question, Virginia. Actually, part of what I'll share piggybacks on what Madhavi shared. I recently saw an Amazon commercial where there was a group of Indian women on scooters. Some of them had, or one of them had a child riding on the back of her scooter, and they were delivering packages. That was a very powerful image and commercial for me to see. A group of Indian women on scooters with their helmets working. I know that that is not the old norm that many of the countrymen are used to, but it was good to see that. And for women who are setting goals now, I'd like to talk with them about audacious womanhood. Audacious womanhood is bold enough to be feminine, intelligent, and compassionate, and assertive. There's a difference between assertive and aggressive,
Mm-hmm.
but having the wisdom, knowing when and how to do it with kindness. That's what we need to be about as far as women are concerned. And yes, know your superpower. What is it you bring to the table that's the best of yourself? That will help you to build that confidence and set those goals boldly and go after what you want. And there is femininity in that power.
Oh, absolutely. I love it. Audacious women. That
Yes.
is beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing that. You know, we only have 10 more minutes, and I just wanted each one of you to send us off with some words of encouragement for any woman that's out there struggling, fighting a stereotype, a physical stereotype. And we know that there's so many other stereotypes, but we want to concentrate on those that make us feel ugly, that make us feel less, that make us feel weak, that make us feel different. You know, and just remember that being you and your uniqueness, that is your superpower. It's just having the strength to saying, you know what, this is who I am. So I'm going to start with Madhavi, that I have it right next to me. Some words of wisdom. So for all those women that are listening to us today and are struggling with this physical stereotypes out there.
Okay.
Okay.
Only the thing is that I would like to say only one thing, that every woman is so beautiful at heart and so beautiful in the face. And for all the beautiful women, be bold, raise your voice, join hands with us. We are there with you, and no silence for any violence, any sort of violence. Always and always we are there. We all will be at the back of you. This is my a little and a small thing on behalf of our
Thank you
Shreya.
so much.
Yeah,
That
because I
was
miss
very
her.
powerful.
Yes. So on behalf of her also, we would like, and we all would like, to be at the back of each and every woman who raise their voice and who are standing up, and we will lend our hand to pull them from their issues or troubles or problems. That's it.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. Very powerful. Tanya, I have you next to her. So your words of wisdom for us.
I would like for you, dear sisters, to know that you have all that you need inside of you, and you are beautiful. You are strong and you can achieve whatever it is you want to achieve. It only takes a plan, maybe share with a confidential sister to help you along your way, and you can do whatever it is that you want to do. Go in strength.
Ooh, love it. Thank you, audacious sister Tanya. That was beautiful. Shirley, give us your words. And thank you for staying. I know it's super late. I really appreciate that you're here.
No problem. I think if I can give a word of support, that would be to believe that every moment is fleeting. If you are feeling a little under or a little defeated, embrace that. Just being having that self-compassion and really embracing the optimism that you're born with and sharing this vulnerability with the people who you can trust. Believe that when you do that, you are already like a raindrop that hits the ground and then you're going to rebound. And that's what resilience is, and that's what confidence is. And that is even when you don't feel beautiful, even when the words around you are beating you down, you are untarnished.
Beautiful. Thank you so much, Shirley, and thank you for staying with us. Paula?
I would like to say that that woman that when she feels down and compared with the others, she puts in the inferior level. So be careful with this. You are unique. You have the power. You have all the things good inside you. More important than the physical is your values, your purpose in life, what you contribute for a better and happier world. Focus on this, and I believe that you will be happy. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you all. I could have said it better. I want to say thank you to Shreya that she was not able to join us today, but I know she will be with us in the next session. Mad, thank you for being in the controls. And I just wanted to let you know that G100, our vision is to create an equal, progressive, and inclusive environment for women worldwide. So
Yeah.
if you're that woman, follow us, look for us, and all social media, be part of what we do. Let us know that you're there. Let us know that you want to be part of G100. And from global networking, we continue to build bridges. Relationships are the key to everything. Thank you all. See you soon.
Yeah, bye.
Thank
Bye
you.
bye.
Virginia.
Thank you.